Oh,
Sebi. Come on, get in the middle. Get in the middle.
Like you're like Mr. Show Up. Like you just show up, you make plays.
He shows up.
Hey, talk about just being part of this team, playing with some of the Bells, getting to know some of the other guys, and what have you learned so far?
It was a great experience playing out here. I love this team. Being able to come together over the season, you learn a lot of different coverages, playing different guys that you won't see during the regular season. It was nice to stay out here with my Bell brothers too, put the work in with them. Yeah, it was overall a great season.
Good work, boys.
Man, you guys supposed to catch it.
Here's a throwback for you. Last week I talked to Sebi Aliaga, one of our GSF 5-star, and we had a really good conversation. He plays for the Bellarmine Bells. Check it out.
GetSportsFocus is brought to you by Summit Partners, leaders in growth equity investing, Ike's Love and Sandwiches, championship level sandwiches every single time, weightsandbars.com, build your home gym and shop locally from the Bay Area's best fitness equipment experts, and by South Bay Construction, a reputation built on trust.
All right, up next we have Sebi Aliaga. He is from Bellarmine College Prep, and he is about to join me.
Is that good?
Look at you, looking all slick, man. What's going on with you?
Not much. Just
So we're doing this because there's a reason why we're doing this. Well, because we want to talk. Well, I want to talk to you because you're one of our playmakers on GSF 5-star, and I think it'd be cool to just kind of like talk to you about the season and what you've been doing in the off season and how everything went and all that stuff. So first of all, what's new with you, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Nice to see you too. Not much is new. Just kind of getting through a lot of the football workouts over the summer, working out in the morning every day, and then I come home. I try to I'll kind of recover. Maybe we have a pool, so I'll just kind of sit in there, kind of let my body cool off. And I've been kind of trying to go to the golf course a lot. Just kind of a passion, hobby I picked up over the summer. So I've been playing a lot of golf, just kind of some step away from football, kind of just have my mind in a different place, just a lot more relaxing. So I've been golfing a lot, but yeah, just mainly focusing on football, having morning workouts, working out with my around here with hometown friends, stuff like that. Yeah.
I see. So I'm curious to know, what's your background as far as football? When did you start playing football?
I'd say it started, I kind of just always, I have 3 older brothers, so growing up, it was always, I was just, throwing a football, because they're all, 4 years older than me or more, so, and they're all kind of right around each other, so they'd always be playing, and kind of just from, a young age, I didn't really want to, miss out on, any action that they were in, so, if they were throwing the ball, I was kind of always around, but I'd say I kind of seriously picked up, flag football around, 7 years old. They joined a league.
Oh.
And then I'd say played next level from 3rd grade, and then in middle school I just played flag football for my school, and then didn't start tackle football until high school, but I was always a quarterback up until high school.
Nice. Okay. And what made you switch?
Well, just kind of I got to Bell, and I just kind of felt like maybe I wasn't really meant for quarterback at the time, because I didn't really show up or I couldn't make it to the conditionings up until the spring season, because if you remember, that was my freshman year was the COVID year.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to play until spring, and I couldn't go to those practices because I just couldn't get out to school, especially because we were already at home. So I had to stay home, and then when I got there, I kind of realized Parker and kind of they were always already ready to go, already knew the plays, had been throwing with the receivers and stuff like that. And then so I kind of sat behind Parker for the freshman season, but then when the JV summer came around, I was talking to the coach, and he was like, "Hey man, I think we're gonna be playing Parker a lot at quarterback. I think you're an athlete, and I think you could definitely play wide receiver, corner, just kind of we want you out on the field. So I was like, oh, I mean, that sounds awesome to me. Like anywhere I could help is where I'd want to be.
Well, you're definitely an athlete, and I've always wanted to talk to you about like your background. And for those of you who are wondering who this young man is, this young man is a playmaker from Bellarmine Bells, and he actually played 7-on-7 for us. And he was one of those guys who just showed up and made plays. And it was great, man. And you know, I think the off season was great for you and busy, right? Did you do track or what else did you do? Because you missed maybe like 4 tournaments because you had some things going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
What were you involved in?
There was definitely a big track season for me. I was trying to like gain a lot of athleticism because kind of during like JV and even just like looking at myself, I felt like there was a lot to gain, mainly like athletically. So I definitely did track and I focused pretty heavily on that. A lot of lifting in the off season too, just trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, ready to go, and just yeah, focusing on school too, just getting locked in there, and yeah, just working on a bunch of things, especially track. And it's kind of sad to miss tournaments, but glad to show up when I could.
Now I mean, we had like over 13 tournaments that we went to, so you went to enough, and you showed what you could do, and you got your workout, and everything worked out. But I'm curious, like when we saw you first time, like in December when we had our tryouts, you stood out, and you were one of the first ones that were like, we're taking him. And I remember Parker asked me, it's like, can me and Sebi be on the same team? I think it was Parker. One of the Bellman guys mentioned you, and I said, yeah, of course, man. I think we're gonna keep most of the Bell guys together, and it worked out. But you know, what was your experience like playing, you know, for Coach Dante? Because Coach Dante was a little bit different from what other kids are normally used to.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually really enjoyed it. It was kind of like weird at first. You didn't really like, it was a lot different from coming from like a real like traditional high school offense. Like kind of want to show a lot of run game if you're gonna pass, and it's more like quick game. But then you get into the sevens, and it was like a complete change. It's like kind of all back to like flag football, I guess, kind of where I started. Like it's more on like a time thing. So playing for Coach Dante was great. He was a really good offensive coordinator, and he was really good at like growing a bond with the group. He was able to figure out like what would work for certain guys, and how like what we could all understand and match the concept to go with Parker and Matt, whoever was playing quarterback at the time. It was really fun playing for him, and he really just understood like how to bring a team together and just really how to run an offense.
Well, one of the things that I also noticed too about you, and this interview is about you, we want to get to know you, we want to get your name out there. One of the things that I noticed about you is like you have that competitive spirit, man. It's like, and I think I know now why. Are you the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the
family?
youngest of 4. Yeah,
so
I'm
you're
the youngest of 4.
That explains it right there.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, that definitely has a big part to do with it. Just kind of over time, it was like you just can't really like allow yourself to lose when you're the youngest of 4, and you kind of just always have to push yourself. Because I mean, at least for me, like I would always like look up to my brothers, obviously, but it was also like so much of it was just wanting to like take down whatever they could do, and like just wanting to be better than what they could do in a way. I think that was honestly like probably the most important thing for me, like growing up, is having the older brothers is just like such a big help. Because it may seem like a pain at times, like you're like, wow, how do you do that with like you're the youngest, you're probably always getting beat on, but like you kind of look back at it and you realize like, well, no, it's actually kind of like nice. Like you're always like, you see the mistakes they make and you see the right things they do, and you just kind of like still have to navigate your own path, but it's a lot easier when you got guys to look up to. And my brothers did a great job of that, and there was obviously a lot of fights, and I mean, yeah, brought out some competitive spirit for sure.
I got to tell everybody about this backstory. So I remember our first tournament was Quick 6. It started off good, and then it went really bad, and then it kind of ended pretty good, right? Even though we lost. We were like 0-3.
Yeah.
And then we had our first tournament, our own tournament. It was Top Gun at Lincoln High School. And you guys just beat the crap out of everybody, got to the championship, and you called me out. I remember you saying something like, Yeah, coach. I mean, these guys call me Coach Alf, even though I'm not really a coach. I'm more like a manager. But I remember Sebi called me out. It's like, yeah, I think it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. It's like, yeah, Coach Alf, you thought we suck. I was like, wait a second. I thought you suck. I thought you could do better. I actually really liked that, and I thought like, wow, this guy's got something going on. It's like I like him,
Yeah.
and obviously you guys took him to overtime, and unfortunately we lost that one. But I think that was the turning point of the season when we had some ups and downs, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What were some of the lessons that you learned just being around the seven? Because I don't even know if you played 7-on-7 before this season, but what did you learn, and what were some of the moments?
Yeah, no, that was my first season playing 7-on-7, and it's kind of, I think you definitely have to say like it's a humbling experience at first. Like you kind of come from like this place where you only like see certain guys every time, and they're not really the same, and then like you kind of get out to like that quick six tournament, and that was like the first time. It was like just like the athletic comparison was just like the teams were just a lot more well-rounded than like a JV team or a freshman team would be, because a lot of those stars will go up to the varsity level. So then you get out to like the quick six tournament, and it's like real competitors like going at it, guys that are just kind of like bigger, faster, stronger than you're used to. But I think you also kind of learn like a lot of grit and just kind of like how to battle through it, because at the start, like you're seeing these guys and you're like, oh, that's just one team, like they're going to be the best team here. But then you realize like, no, that's kind of like every team out here. And you're going to have to eventually, like, if you're not going to be faster, you're going to have to like work smarter. Not like, if you can't outwork the guy, like in that certain play, like physically, you're just going to have to outwork him mentally. So I think that was like a big thing that I learned, and like really kind of using, I guess you could even say like the quarterback background to kind of like feel what the zone, like the defense was giving me more, and just kind of like come off of that. You really got to learn a lot as like a wide receiver and a corner, just seeing so many different looks than you would normally see.
Well, I like how everything worked out with you and Jalen, and talking to both of our quarterbacks. I don't know if you saw the interviews we did with Matt and Parker already, and Jalen. And I did like an hour-long talk with Coach Dante, and you came up several times in those conversations. So it was really like you and Jalen, 1-2 punch. I could just imagine if we had an actual tackle team with you guys on each end. I mean, damn, that would be pretty sick. But you're gonna be a junior, correct?
Yes.
And so there's been a lot of changes that happened at Bellarmine in the last couple of years, or couple of seasons actually. But what do you want to accomplish before you leave Bell?
Yeah, I
know you still have one more year, but that might be an early question. But I'm sure you're thinking about it now.
Yeah, I know. There's definitely a lot of things that we want to accomplish, but I think just as a group, we just want to kind of make sure we all lock in together, and we just want to get our best 11 guys on the field and work as hard as we can all season long. We know it's kind of tradition at Bell that we're not really always going to be the biggest guys on the field, and I think in some teams of the past have learned that the hard way, but others have really excelled just meshing together, working perfectly, and just like really outworking guys. And I think that's really what our team can do this year. I've seen a lot of guys put in a lot of work this offseason, so I mean, we're really just going to be going for it all. Like, no one really has any expectation other than us giving a serious run at like a WCAL CCS championship. So, I mean, that's kind of where our head's at as a team. Just want to give a shout out to all of my Bell brothers and everyone on the Sevens team, everyone that's been working, and just can't wait to see all the results in this fall.
Well, I've always told everybody that I come across to, like, man, Bellarmine's heading in the right direction. I like what you guys are doing over there, the coaching staff, the players. Obviously, we got to know a lot of you guys, and man, looking forward to working with you in the future. But man, Sebi, if you guys don't know Sebi, now you know. And I'm pretty sure you've enjoyed watching his highlights as we're talking. So Sebi, man, I know you're a busy guy, and I'll let you go, but we'll check in with you sometime during the season. All right?
Yeah, it's great. Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
All right, man. Sebi Aliaga. There you go. That name, you're gonna hear that name in the highlights. And if you don't know, now you know.